In the late 1960s, I received a very interesting report from Richard Barton, a Contact UK member in Dagenham, who is also the secretary of the Dagenham Aerial Phenomena Research Organisation. It seems to tie together, to a certain extent, UFOs, ghost hauntings, spirit communications and Leys, and also adds weight to the theory that there is significance in the fact that haunted houses often occur on Leys. On the evening of Sunday, July the 21st, Mr. Barton and some other members of his group went to Copped Hall in Essex to hold a seance. The hall, which is now ruined, is famous for the royalty which once stayed there. There were about 15 members of the group there, and they went to the deepest cellar they could find and there set up an Ouija board. After about a minute, they seemed to contact an entity which introduced itself as Ginny Hashi, which for a while spoke of nothing in particular, then told all the people present to leave, as spectres were coming at 11 o'clock. Seeing that the time was 4 minutes past 11, they hurriedly made their exit. When about 3 of the party were left, one of them suddenly shouted he could see a spectre coming. At this there was some confusion, and some equipment was dropped, but all of them eventually got out, which entailed climbing a 6-foot wall and out through a window. As they left, they saw several white lights floating across a nearby field towards the ruins. The spectre was described by its witness as shaped like a cigarette vending machine with what looked like 2 magnifying glasses near the top, in the position one would expect eyes. It was about 3 foot high and 2 feet wide, and floated about 6 inches from the floor. The shape was not distinct, but was a misty grey, seeming less dense in the centre than at the outside. It seemed to approach in jerks. The entity seemed to bear some similarity to other strange beings which have been seen, Flatwoods, Winterfold, and especially the recent Whitmore Common sighting, described as being rectangular. Both the Winterfold and Whitmore Common encounters were experienced in areas connected with Leys. So after receiving the information on this sighting, I checked to see if any Leys passed through Copped Hall, and found 3 quite good ones. One runs roughly eastward, through Waltham Abbey, then Copped Hall, Epping Church, Dodd's Farm near High Ongar, note the significant name Dodd, and Writtle Church near Chelmsford. Another comes southeast through Stansted Bury Church, Nazing Church, then Copped Hall, and several crossroads and a stretch of straight track south of Dartford, Kent. The third goes through Copped Hall, Coleman's Farm, note the significant name Cole, near Thaden Mount, a church near Naverstock Hall, 2 crossroads, both containing parish boundaries, and a church north of Crays Hill near Billericay. Mr. Barton has found other Leys passing through Copped Hall. Epping has been the site of several strange encounters in the past, but this seems to be the most spectacular to date. The moving white lights seem to show that there is a connection with UFOs, though it's the first case, to my knowledge, where the witnesses were warned of a monster in advance by an Ouija board message. The Flatwoods entity mentioned in the article was one seen at 7:15 p.m. on September 12, 1952, at Flatwoods in West Virginia. 2 brothers, Edward and Fred May, and their friend Tommy Heyer, said they saw a bright object cross the sky and land on the property of local farmer G. Bailey Fisher. The boys went to the home of Kathleen May, where they told their story. May, accompanied by 3 boys, local children Neil Nunley and Ronnie Shaver, and West Virginia National Guardsman Eugene Lemon, went to the Fisher farm in an effort to locate whatever it was that the boys said they had seen. The group reached the top of a hill, where Nunley said they saw a pulsing red light. Lemon said he aimed a flashlight in that direction and momentarily saw a tall, man-like figure with a round red face, surrounded by a pointed hood-like shape. When the figure made a hissing sound and glided towards the group, Lemon screamed and dropped his flashlight, causing the group to run away. The group said they smelt a pungent mist, and some later said they were nauseated. Winterfold incident mentioned occurred between November 12th and 13th, 1967, probably the same year as the Copped Hall Spectre. Philip Freeman and Angela Carter, two adults who were reported as down-to-earth, fun-loving people, were riding in an area of woodland of Hurtwood Common in England between Winterfold and Pitch Hill. Philip's car front window started to mist over, so he exited the car with the motor still running to sweep it. Just then there was an unpleasant smell, like a stink bomb. Even though they were in the middle of a pitch-black wood with no light available, as Philip re-entered the car, he saw a face through the rear side passenger window. He estimated it to be about 10 inches long and 8 inches wide, and stated that it was close up to the window. The face had no visible features like eyes, nose or mouth. It was blank and white, and sharply defined, even with a luminous tinge. There was also something that looked like an arm reaching up to the top of the car's hood. Philip was suddenly terrified and felt very cold. Angela had witnessed the revolting smell, and when she saw the look of horror on Philip's face, she refused to look backwards. When Charles Bowen questioned Angela about this, he said, "There was an atmosphere which alarmed me. I knew by the look on Philip's face and by my own feeling that something terrible was out there." When UFO investigator Gordon Millington went to investigate the area where this entity was seen, he found a very wide band of energy there, which led to a year-long project investigating this ley, the widest and most powerful yet discovered. This project is the subject of the video The Pitch Hill Project on this channel.
The Pitch Hill Project was a year-long investigation into one particular ley crossing Surrey, just south of Guildford and Reigate. It was found by dowsing to be particularly wide and strong, more so than any other found to date. It all started when on November the 7th, 1990, Eileen Grimshaw and Gordon Millington were on Pitch Hill investigating the site of a UFO. They climbed to the triangulation point at the top of Pitch Hill, and both of them dowsed a very wide band of energy there. The weather was dry, cold and windy at the time. They also found other less strong lines of energy crossing the hillside between the triangulation point and the car park, but nothing as strong as this very wide one. On the 11th of October, Gordon and Eileen reported this to Jimmy Goddard at the Surrey Earth Mysteries Group meeting, and a ley was found on the map